Look, I'm even holding my breath right there, putting lipstick on. Why? Why am I not? Let me just freshen up my lips. But instead, I do find myself often, my whole life, as most of us do in life, living through life like this. Expressionless, emotionless, and not necessarily being still in such ways, rather more so frozen like a statue. Why? Right now, me, at the 7 p.m. hour on the farm, I still haven't fed my dogs. This has been a massive day for me on the farm. I mean, you know, I love that I know that I'm where I'm meant to be. These animals are high maintenance. That's because heaven knows Natalie needs high maintenance. Natalie needs to love, love, love. But Natalie also needs to learn, live, love, laugh, share. Natalie needs to be full circle, the social butterfly, so to speak, in such ways now of, you know, social media, being able to share beautiful ways of the ways I feel about my life. Me. I'm not here to preach or prophesize or seek fame or fortune and all these things. And I'm grateful that heaven has helped me along my ways of continuing to share that in all of my videos. I'm really not here to be famous. I can't even explain it. I mean, it's with my headstones also. I don't want money. I never have. It's with a lot of life I've run into my whole life. No, I can't even, you know, a lot of times I'll be like, no, I can't accept that money. But I sure would like that money, you know, right? Okay, I'll thank you so much, but you don't have to, you know, but I thank you. Well, there's been a lot of moments in my life where I've been like that, but more so the moments are always like, no, I really, like, I can't. And I'm not just saying that. I am a beautiful soul, and I know I am. And I love who I am as Natalie. I love my soul. I love my simple social media sharings of my farm life, a small hobby farm, and all of that I continue to, you know, embrace of my own truly joyful moments of my life. Given the fact that I'm always a hideous mess every day, it looks like I'm like a nursing mother right now. Who knows what this is? Vegetable oil, you know, poop maybe? I don't know. And look, I'm holding my breath again. See, why do you do that? It's called habit. And habits are hard to break. And yet we train ourselves in life to think that habits only mean like, you know, oh, that's a habit that you bite your nails. That's a habit that you pick your scabs. That's a habit that you know. Habits are thoughts. Habits become routine, and it is important to break those bad habits, the not so good habits, while continuing to create a life that is evolving to become and aware of getting there, a life of no right or wrong, no good or bad, no in between. Rather fully embracing, fully circling the full circles, plural circles of life. I'm just going to go over my list really quick of what my day was today, and I'm still uploading videos, and I really do delight in sharing these videos with my social media. I don't care if only 3 people like it. And I never even go back to see, but most of the times my videos do get, you know, Leah, you come on different venues. It's reaching the world. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know who in the world it reaches. My videos, each of them, every one of them. And yet my social media, which with my root being TikTok, the generating factor, and then I share to YouTube and Facebook, it is a way of my life. It's not a habit. It's not a past time. It's not a, what I just learned the other day, oh my God, I forget the word now. My mom shared it with me. It's not a hobby for me to love heaven. It is a calling. And I'm aware that in life, people can't can't comprehend, therefore can't accept when people like me, and there's millions of Natalies in this world running around, and some of us are crazier than others, and yet anybody who loves heaven is technically going to be considered crazy, because the truth is, what those unawakened people in life can't even realize is that heaven is crazy. So that's all of that, right? Today I woke up unlike any other day. Oh, my phone, I'm just trying to like get it so it's silent. And yet I had Janet and Jackie and Chrissy and Andy sleep with me in bed last night. And Jackie, the little frizzle, she shits everywhere. It's disgusting. I mean, I was just like, oh God, you know, like midnight, I was like, Natalie, why? You said like 100 times, Jackie can never sleep with you again. And yet here she is again. And yet last night what it was is that I was getting ready to put her into a cage, and I walked back and she had already climbed the doggy stairs and got to her corner of the bed. I was like, okay, Jackie. And I had her on a blanket and stuff like that, but still, I had to wash all the bedding today, so that was a big deal. As well as Andy waking up, you know, at his time and cock-a-doodle-doing, and my instant radar of fear going off about Pansy wanting to kick us out of here, and yada yada. And then, you know, and also me at the same time being like, I don't care. And yet, you know, I'm trying to go through all of this. I'm trying to sort my own life out here at 7816, a place and space that I'm blessed and grateful to be at, and ever enjoying every single day, even amidst the chaos and sham and drudgeries and hate that surrounds me, the vulgar and the vicious, the, you know, backstabbing and terribleness and all of that. I remain grateful to be here, and every day aware of the ways I feel here, in discovering east and west and north and south. JC's East Bridge, where I saw his soul go over. JC's West Bridge I'm repairing right now, that goes to Beaver Hill, which is the west side of the farm where Sasquatch is, and the sun comes down, and, you know, passerbys can see Sasquatch. We do need to move him, though. He's no good. And this is, you know, I'm not here to shame, blame, judge, ridicule, or even tell Chris what to do. I'm literally sitting here right now, and otherwise living every second of my days, with Chris gone 5 days a week now, home, you know, 2.5 days, living two worlds, upstairs and downstairs, knowing that his mother and sister and me literally are not, I mean, we're not even parallel. We're disconnected entirely, and yet here we are. You know, I live underneath his mother. It's entirely stressful for me. I continue to feel myself being, yes, promoted by heaven's assistance, not my family. My family doesn't assist me in any way at all, not even my mother. And yet, my mother does assist me in such ways as engaging with me daily, listening to me, embracing what I say, responding back, and literally sharing intimate, beautiful thoughts with me, my mom. So even though my mom still falls back there, you know, my mom's really, when she's with Natalie, she is with Natalie, and she is, I go, Mom, where do you think Natalie got it from? Hello, you, Mom. And yet you've remained a sheltered soul your whole life, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yet look at what God's been giving you for the past 10 years, what he's been giving me as well. Mom, his absence does at times make the heart grow fonder. Distance is necessary at times. Not having a dam, not having a tsunami ever, and yet having that distance in between. And that's where my mom and I began our daily 1-hour phone calls for like 10 years in Florida, and we remain doing so. My mom's so hard, she drives me crazy most of the time. But anyway, I love her. And Pansy's not my mom, and I've never had a friendly relationship with Pansy. I've never been friends with her. In fact, for the 33 years I've been with Chris, any of those years way back when, you know, when JC and Pansy were still capable of traveling and they visited us, or vice versa, you know, Pansy and I never, ever could connect. There was never any love. Never. And it wasn't hate. And not on my end anyway. And yet it was, I can't breathe around you, Pansy. Oh my God, you're just, oh my God. I want to live my life, you know? I went through a lot of that, all those years of my life feeling guilty and bad and awful as a person for not wanting to spend time with Pansy. And yet, then we moved in here 3 years ago, and I realized, well, the feeling was mutual, and I never even thought of it. And yet, it wasn't only mutual; it was that Pansy really hates me. Hate is a strong word, and I've been blessed at the same time as sickened and devastated, and yet also promoted from that learning of that emotion of hate. With thanks to Pansy and Lisa for teaching me, painfully so, what in my life the emotion of hate means to me. I've surpassed that. I don't feel love for them at all yet, and yet that's not my goal. My goal is to find peace. My goal is not to understand them. My goal is to understand life. Storm, my hen, has been inside egg-bound all day. She's free-ranging right now. I'm hoping this time alone will help her to pass her egg. Ruby has definitely been on a downward, going into, I call it, it's like not a final destination because that's heaven. She's coming down for a final clearance check before she skyrockets to heaven, okay? So she's very hungry today. She's eaten so much rotisserie chicken. I keep putting pain medicine in. I know pain medicine can also prolong life of animals in particular, as well as humans, and yet I don't want her suffering, and I do want her to pass peacefully here. Today was my first recognition with Ruby as she continues to get her maintenance check here, fueling up with food. Yes, it is true. Right before life dies, life does have a sudden need for fuel, nutrition, to prepare the soul. It's very much so what happened with me when I had COVID right before I met Jesus. I felt that I was on not a final layover like Ruby is. I was on a layover preparing for takeoff to meet Jesus. And heaven needed me down for that 10 days. And yet I remember Chris bringing me soup and crackers and everything, and so loving. I had no idea. And it took me a long time to have the hindsight to look back and go, oh my God, literally, oh my God. Everything happens for a reason. And, I was meant to be on lithium all that time, and I was meant to come off it at that time, getting COVID. I was meant to find that documentary about lithium. When I couldn't even watch TV for 10 days, I was just in this deep sleeping beauty slumber. Peaceful. Hearing everything with Chris and the girls, their laughter, the sounds of dinnerware clanking, and just conversation, and the tapping of the dog's feet along the wooden floors in our beautiful home, our sanctuary home. I will find peace one day with all of that. I remain open and aware that there is a reason that heaven has me have at this point now 4 years, really. I really have no memories of Florida. And yet I do. And they're not blocked. It's like they don't exist. I'm not into labels. Many people would call that PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and definitely, well, I've along the 4 years, me being Baker acted, stripped of my rights, strip searched, cavity searched, Baker acted, and threatened to have it done again, and travels to Maryland and taking care of my parents, and my siblings not carrying, and me just getting shit the fuck on everywhere, and barn dominium renovations, and me returning home, and just everything. And then Chris gone, and then the abandoning, and the girls, and it's a lot. And then there's been a lot of loss of life and death here as well along the journeys, and I continue to be so truly blessed, feeling blessed of all my hindsights of, whoa, Beaver the Bobcat? What was that, God? Well, he's the first body buried at Beaver Hill. I named a hill that I didn't even still at that point know 2 years ago what north, east, south, and west was. Here, where I'm sitting. And now I know. West, east. Bridge, bridge. White deer. Coyote. Hawks. Crows. Trees speaking out loud. Jesus rocks. Snakes. Birds everywhere. And mailboxes. Arrows. I have a beautiful life. And it is most distressing to me to know that Chris can't even feel that, or even think that, or even hear that when I share it, you know? Like, it's like there's this eternal, for my entire family, eternal fixation on Natalie negativity. Negative Natalie. Natalie no good. Natalie. Like Marsha. Brady. Ruby wants to die alone. And I knew that today. I didn't know it until today. And I've thought Ruby was dying for 9 years. And yet, you know, I continue to say, well, when you're dying a natural death and you're sick, you know, regardless, she has congestion. Well, I always say to my mom, not to compare you to a chicken, Mom, or not to compare you to my dog, Mom, but, you know, congestive heart failure, you know, I do know. Not medically speaking, and yet what I witness every day with my own dogs. I've had many dogs. Natasha and Peach also had it. Ruby wants to die alone. She not only turned her back to me today, she walked away from me when she could barely walk. She stopped and peed in the middle of, you know, nowhere. And the last I checked, I'm going to go in a minute because I have to check on everybody and their storms free ranging. I want her to lay this egg. And she was most comfortable not being confined in a cage. I have no problem with her hopping around the kitchen counters. I continue to always clean up in there throughout the day, mopping, sweeping, Windexing the counters, yada yada, cleaning my hands and all of that. This was a big moment, has been and remains a big moment with Storm today being egg bound. I need to get this egg out tonight, and this is why I'm out here right now, hoping she can pass it on her own and needs that peace. Just like Ruby doesn't want me around her to die. I remember it was Annie, the first dog, who I didn't still know then, and it was Deb, my friend, who was there and said, Natalie, Annie has turned her back to you. And I knew, but I didn't want to accept it. That the way these animals communicate is, you know, I had to respect that. And Annie didn't want me to be a part of her dying, for whatever reasons. Whether she loved me too much, didn't want to see me hurt, or, you know, animals are their own creatures. That Walmart delivery today was crazy. I'm glad I got that. I needed these small, simple things, you know, to just feel like I could go on for the next couple of days. And I don't like leaving the farm. I don't drink whiskey all day. And I don't smoke cigarettes all day. And I don't upload videos all day. And yet, boy, I really have a life that does gift me with the time and the ability to, I don't edit any of my videos. It's boom, boom, thank you, ma'am, add a song or a few captions and off it goes. And for me, it's a beautiful way of sharing beautiful life, very connected to heaven in ways that I share in my videos, that I am connected with heaven without fear. And I am grateful to have promoted a long time ago from that mode of being afraid of sharing because of my family to now, you know, hey, giving that first angel message to Lisa, my sister-in-law, Lisa Irvin, Stephen's wife, soon to be ex-wife. I didn't know if I could do it. And literally an angel, her father, who I never knew, was like, anyway, Natalie, could we get on with this? You know, you're going to deliver a message. What is this? You can't do it, you know? And that's when I kind of really began to further embrace that It doesn't matter what my family thinks of me. What matters is what I feel and think of me in the ways that life responds to me. I don't have negative responses, ever. In fact, the only negative responses I ever got was from family. There is a big issue going on with this lady named Connie Rowe. I don't know how she appeared in my life on my Facebook at all. I'm greatly connected to her, again, by heaven. I don't understand this, and yet I'm aboard. And I've been kind of trinkling along the ways with her. This is not an angel message, and yet it is. And it has to do with a headstone. And this has embarked me on, I can't even get into it now. I've been documenting it on my phone every day for 3 days now. I'm in awe, AWE. I don't question, I don't wonder. I simply am open to receiving, and so I just document along the ways these bizarre moments where something will pop up on my phone about genealogy. I'm not into genealogy, but this is what this whole headstone sighting on her Facebook, you know, she shared with me. She was like, I'm giving up. I don't want to do this anymore. And I further discover that what I thought was a headstone I cleaned, literally, not just the name, but she's from Oviedo. I mean, everything was pointing to, no, I didn't. And yet I did clean 9 Pendarvis headstones in Oviedo. And she is from Oviedo, but these people, I can't even explain it. And yet she really wants to get to the bottom of this. And she said she thinks this one supposed great-great-grandfather who has a different last name of Cherry Tree and is buried in Georgia, she thinks he has a story to tell. And I go, I think, because I definitely have been led to feel and see, yes, he does have a story to share. And the fact that you think this and that you just gave up on all of this because your family was blasphemizing you. Stay out of the business. Don't worry. He's not illegitimate and all that kind of stuff, you know? So I don't even know. I go, I don't know. How do I know you, Connie? This is embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But this moment has me so captured. I can't, did I give you an angel message? Because I never forget angel messages, you know? She's never responded to that part of it, but she's like, I'm on board. I have another friend from TikTok who lives in the I don't know, out west in Arizona or somewhere. And she just told me that, you know, the other day her husband went into the hospital and was given 2 weeks to live. 2 months to live. Stage 4 cancer, and it's everywhere. Oh, I mean, I delight in being able to give whatever I can. It's not about what's going to be received or taken or valued or anything. I will give what I can. Listen, this is a beautiful book. Listen, I talk to souls. You're alive? You have a soul? You're an angel in heaven? You have a soul. If your husband, you know, maybe he wants me to, if you send me a picture of your husband who's alive right now, I could talk to your husband. You know? I've never even offered that or even thought of that before, and yet these are the ways I continue to feel heaven leads me to further discovering ways that heaven wants to deliver to life. It's not all about angels. It's always about heaven. God, Jesus, and Spirit. God, Jesus, and Spirit. The 3 entities, God, Jesus, and Spirit, never work alone. And yet that's what we do in life, is we do veer off and we do work alone. And we are not a full circle. We are a full web of mass destruction. Connie Rowe, we'll figure that out. The movie Sheep Detectives is coming out on Friday. This was one of my, I think it was the first audiobook I began to record and share on all my social media. Never a big turn. I wasn't expecting a big, yay, we love this, Natalie. Come on, seriously. And yet I have these needs is what I call them, to do certain things like audio voice book, you know, creating lists on my phone like Heaven's Words, or Bible studies, you know, every Bible passage I read. Like, I don't question. I'm gifted with the life, blessed with the life of having such time to live a fairy tale adventure that is a fairy tale, and fairy tales are predominantly quite awful along the ways. Amen. The Sheep Detectives movie is coming out, and my friend Lisa, who I've been doing painting a day with, you know, for many months now, reconnecting a childhood friend. Bizarre, yes. I've given her angel messages from her brother and her mother and her father, you know, to her sister as well. It took me, when I reconnected with Lisa, to see that on the street I grew up on, I've delivered 2 out of all those, I don't know how many, 20 houses on the street, I've delivered 13 angel messages to them. I didn't even know. That's how amazing heaven is also, you know, in knowing where to send. And this is why angels do know where to come, even if I didn't know these neighbors, you know, very well, or however I knew them, whatever. You know, heaven has mysterious ways of connecting with us in life. The Sheep Detectives movie. She ordered these sheep t-shirts, and I was like, oh my God, where'd you get them? She's like, Walmart. I went on Walmart. I found so many different sheep shirts. They were like $10 each, and I was like, I have these tank tops. You know, heaven has, the past few weeks, been having me splurge on things, like buying the two $25, $26 each hanging baskets. These are things I don't typically do. And heaven does want us to delight beyond our normal means at times. And I believe this is where heaven has also been promoting me, as well as prompting me into helping my husband, Chris, along the ways of, Chris, these trips need to be more than you're flying to work and you're going to Texas and you're coming home and you're mowing and you're tending to your mother and you're going to Costco and going to the dump and getting gas for the mower, and then you're flying away and no, Chris, it needs to be more than that. You need to start associating these travels with something personal to you. This isn't about anybody but you. And heaven does have you, is what I tell Chris, on these literal parallel sky journeys, in the literal skies, beyond the metaphor, with great divine purpose, beyond fate. I'm trying to tell you, Chris, you are meant to enjoy these moments, not have it be a rushed, this, there, here, home. Mom's sick, wife's mad, daughter's, you know. Heaven continues to have me feel that we can work this out, Chris and I. And I trust heaven. I do serve heaven. And unfortunately for people like my husband, who grew up with a highly religious family, who let me tell you, they are the worst of the worst, the religious, highly religious persons. They're fiercely, aggressively vicious at times. And it's been a big day. I got in touch with Keith Burgess, the one who built our coop number 4. And I said, could you possibly talk to me about a small, like a respite, you know, a small, nothing that big. I need a small respite, like back here behind Barnway with me. You know, these birds can just be out here, easily moved, this coop and stuff, for like 4 to 6 small frizzles. He said he's going to get back to me, and he said, definitely I can help you. So that's good. I've got 2 of my battery hens and Diana. These are 3 more back at coop number 3. I don't know what coop number 3's issue is, but, you know, they're looking faded. Something's off. Okay, it's starting to get dark. I need to go in, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a day out here. Got my towels to bring in, my water to bring in, my one phone here, this phone there. Alexa, play light classical music. Andy and Janet are out here peaceful, not bothering me. And the golf cart's here. My last little shot of Fireball. I live so well in this life. Look at Starla. Starla, are you okay? Are you alive? Look at you just laying down there. You precious girl. Andy, hold on. Okay, it's time. Oh my God, Andy. Oh my God, I'm serious. Stop.